Hello, hello, hello. We are live for the Cash Masterclass. Hello, okay. I am excited for this one. I am very, very excited for this one. On the topic of cash, this masterclass was inspired by Cash, the cat. We had originally, when we adopted him, we had thought we were going to keep the name that he already had, but he's only a few years old and he wasn't really responding to it. So we tried out other names and I landed on Cash and I just fell in love. So we named him Cash and now he responds to it. It was quite quick actually. After like 3 or 4 days of just calling him Cash, he responds to it. So he is the inspiration for this masterclass, Mr. Cash. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Heather. Hello, Minerva. Yes, Minerva. Monisha, Christine, Jermaine, Sylvie. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on when you are tuning in. So I just dropped a sneaky little link in the group. I did not even tell Team Cassie. I kept it a surprise from them all day. They did not even know I was going to do this. But there was a sneaky little link that was dropped in the group. If you did not see it, make sure you go see it and you click it and you sign up, because if you don't, just wow, you are going to be kicking yourself, because I feel like for this particular offer that landed for me this morning, and I was like, I'm going to do it in the Cash Masterclass. Like, I think it is going to catapult us all into the most exceptional last 4 months of the year. And especially September. I feel like September is going to be monumental for so many reasons that I knew I had to lock this in for September. So I dropped it in the group, so you can go click on it, sign up if it feels good for you. It is going to be included for those of you who are in the inner circle. So if you're in the inner circle, you are already in. But if you're not in the inner circle, then you will have to sign up for it separately. But the way that we're going to do it is, right now it is $328.88. You will find out why later. And it is going to go up tonight when I finally reveal what it actually is. And when you find out what it is, it will be at the higher price point. So if you're feeling the nudge, go sign up, trust your gut, and I will see you there, because it's going to be exciting. And then tonight I will come back and I will tell you exactly what you just signed up for. Hello, Hillary. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, so let's dive in to Cash. Let us dive into Cash. So what I'm going to share is some of the most transformational lessons I've learned and strategies I've implemented that has allowed me to scale from these big months into these very, very big months. Like, the fact that I can celebrate $500,000 in a month, $500,000 in a month, $600,000 in a month, $800,000 in a month. Like, these numbers are insane. They're not normal. There's very few people with numbers like this. Like, it is insane numbers. Yet, I'm not special. I'm not lucky. I know what I'm doing when it comes to sales. I know what I'm doing when it comes to audience growth. I know what I'm doing when it comes to creating sustainable growth over a long period of time. Like, I just know what I'm doing. So I want to tell you what I'm doing so that you can start experiencing much bigger money in your business as well. So I remember years ago when I had first started my coaching business. This was back in February of 2015. And I didn't tell very many people that I was doing it because, to be honest, I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to go. So I didn't really want to tell many people, but I told a few friends. I told a few colleagues from my previous business that I had, and I told my parents. And every single one of them told me not to do it. Or they told me, you're crazy. When I told them what I was desiring, I said, I want to have 10K months. $10,000 in a month. That's $120,000 in a year. Like that, to me at the time, was big money. It was a lot of money. And it felt really big. It felt like a stretch, but it also felt doable at the same time. So I was excited about it, and I was excitedly telling people about my dream of becoming a successful a successful coach, bringing in 10K a month. Like, it felt so exciting, and every single one of them just shot me down. Like, no, that's not possible. Everyone told me that 10K months, 10K and above, $10,000 a month was unrealistic, completely unrealistic. And they used this word specifically, like, you're being unrealistic. That's not possible. The only kind of people who make $10,000 and up a month is doctors. This is what everybody said, doctors and lawyers. Well, I have a lawyer on one side of me, and he has told me that he does about, I think, 2.8 million or something like that a year, just under 3 million a year. And I have a doctor on the other side of me. And he said that he's bringing in $380,000 a year. That blew my mind. I was expecting this guy to be like freaking loaded, like millions and millions a year. $380,000 a year is what he made. And he said his income keeps going down every year. It's insane that I am making more money than a doctor and a lawyer. It is insane to me. Yet it's happening. It's real. I didn't actually believe when people were telling me it's unrealistic to have a 10K month, because now I have 10K mornings. Now I have 10K minutes, 10K seconds. Now I have multiple $1 million years and growing. All because I decided not to take on somebody else's beliefs of what was possible for me. And I also chose to believe in what was unrealistic. I chose to believe in what was unrealistic. You tell me it's unrealistic, you better believe I'm going to do it. It was like a challenge or something set for myself. Really? You don't think I can? Watch me. Watch me do it. And then when people found out later, after I had obviously done the 10K months, the 20K months, the 30K months, the 50K months, and they found out that my next desire was the $100,000 month, like 6 figures in 1 month, the kind of response I got was insane. It was like I had just pooped on their sandwich. They were disgusted. They were so appalled at my desire to have a 6-figure month, consistent 6-figure months. Like, that's insane. That's too much money. Nobody needs that much money. That's over $1 million a year. Nobody needs that much money. Like, that's so selfish. And what would you even do with all of that money? And who do you think's going to pay you? Like, how do you think you're going to have so many people pay you so much money to make $100,000 in a month? This was the response that I got. And this was the time that I pretty much stopped telling people what I was planning to do. And instead, I just told my own mentors. Instead of telling family and friends who were not really going to get it because they don't understand, no matter how much I try to educate them on the subject, they don't understand the power of being in the potentiality vibes as opposed to the, well, this is realistic kind of vibes. So now I have mentors for that. Mentors in my own team who are going to cheer me on and be like, you know what? I think that's actually a bit low. Why don't we go higher than that? Okay, let's go higher than that. Speaking to my soul. Yeah, it's so common that people make these assumptions about money. It's not possible. Like, you need to be more realistic. No, thank you. No, thank you, ma'am. I will not be more realistic at all. If I chose to be realistic when it comes to business, money, success, freedom, like I would not have anywhere near the kind of life that I have today. And I still feel today, even though I have the most incredible life and my business has grown an insane amount just over the past like 9 months of this year, or 8 months technically of this year, I still feel like I'm at the bottom of the hill. You know, I still feel like I have not even really begun yet. But if I were to tell my mom how close we were to having $1 million months, I think I might give her a heart attack. And when my dad found out accidentally that we had the $884,000 month, he asked me why I was making up numbers. He's like, why are you making up numbers? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you mean in a year, right? 884,000. Like, no. He's like, well, it wasn't in a month. Like, don't make things up. It's not a month. Nobody makes that in a month. Even though my numbers have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it's like the disbelief grows bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, I don't know what I gotta do to prove to you other than like check out my bank account. Like, there's nothing much else I can do to prove the numbers really are that big. But people can't see that. They can't see that possibility for themselves because their mind is so focused in logic and being realistic. And it's not realistic to have an $800,000 month. That's not realistic at all. And logically speaking, I should not have an $800,000 month. With the number of people that follow me, with the number of sales transactions we have, like, even though there's a lot of them, like, it still does not make sense that I had an $800,000 month. It doesn't. But the best part is, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. In fact, I don't think it can ever make sense. I don't think it will ever make sense to make $100,000 in a month, $200,000 in a month, $500,000 in a month, $1 million in a month. How could that possibly make sense? It is insane. But it can also be your reality. I don't choose logic. I don't choose realistic, logical money. I don't choose that. I choose insane money. I choose blow your own freaking mind money. I choose what the heck just happened money. I choose magic money. That's what I choose. And that's why I continue to experience that month after month after month after month after month. Because I don't even consider what's logical. I don't even consider what's realistic. It is not something that ever crosses my mind. So I don't experience that. I experience the opposite of that, which is magic money, blow your own mind money. And that for me feels way more fun. And because it feels way more fun, I want to focus on it way more often because it feels good. And that allows me to continue to show up and stay consistent in the things that I do in my business to grow the business and continue to have these mind-blowing big cash months every single month. So if we think about, the difference between logical or realistic money and magic money, there's very distinct differences. So with logical money, realistic money, you can plan it. You can plan out exactly where it's going to come from. It's calculated. It's what you can expect based on previous experiences. So if you've had a 50K month before, then it's possible for you to have a 50K month again because you've done it already. You've done it and you have all the things in place to make it a reality. You have certain offers at certain price points. You have certain money pathways in your business where people can find these different offers and come into multiple things with you. Like, you have all the things set up that it's just obvious that you're going to hit 50K again, at least 50K. Obvious. Don't even need to question it. Like, that's logical money. That's realistic money. That is being calculated, is focusing on what is already coming in. It's like, even say you have like recurring payments in your business, and you look at what's coming in for September, and you're like, okay, I've got $12,000 that's set to come in just in all of these recurring payments. So logically, you are going to make this month at least $12,000. Like, there is not a shred of doubt in your mind that you will make $12,000 because all of the evidence points to at least $12,000 this month. But what if it's $112,000 this month? What if, in addition to that $12,000 that's set to come in already, you have $100,000 in additional payments? Maybe some of them are planned, maybe some of them are strategic and calculated, and some of them are magic. Some of them are surprise payments. Like, when I think back to April, when we had this $800,000 month, a lot of the payments that came in were big payments that were completely unexpected. Like, over $300,000 that month came in that I was not expecting. There's a message from a person that, one of them I'd never spoken to before. The other two I'd never spoken to about that particular offer before. And they asked basically, how can I pay in full for that? And it was over $300,000. Unexpected. That's magic money. That's being open to receiving, but not knowing exactly where it's going to come from, or when it's going to come in, or even what it's going to be for. It's just knowing that there is a potential for it to come in. So logical money is not like that. Realistic money is not like that. It's, let me look at the numbers that I've already done so far, and based on the numbers that are already here, it means I'm probably going to have at least this month. Like, that feels certain that we'll do at least X number of dollars this month. And the confidence is there, you don't question it. But we don't think beyond that, and that's the issue, is we focus too much on what's logical, and we don't let our mind wander into the field of potentiality, where it's like, but what if? What if I could actually have a $200,000 month? I've never had a $200,000 month. I know, that's why it's crazy. But isn't it exciting? What if today, just today, somebody buys something from me and it's 50K. Let's just pretend you have a 50K offer. Somebody buys my 50K offer and they pay in full, but nobody's bought it before. Nobody's bought a 50K offer. What makes you think they're going to buy a 50K offer from you when nobody's ever bought a 50K offer from you before? Because they could. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they could. Okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind a maybe. I can get behind a, wouldn't it be so fun if? Wouldn't it be exciting if? Wouldn't it be so cool if? It's not forced. It's not like I have to make this happen, and how do I do it, and what steps do I follow to equal X result? It's, what if this could happen? What if that could happen? It's, somebody could, like, my team said to me today, they said, today could be a $300,000 or $200,000 day. Just out of nowhere. I was like, oh, yes, you're right, it could. Thank you for that reminder. Like, yes. Like, we could have a $500,000 day. Why not? Have we done it before? Nope. But I've had a $421,000 week. So if I can do it in a week, I can certainly do it in a day. But I'm not going to try to figure out how to do it in a day. I'm just going to focus on the fact that I could do it in a day. The potential is that I could do it in a day. So that's the energy we want to play with. So the magic money is playing with potentiality. Like, you cannot plan magic money. You can't be like, where's this magic money going to come from? That's not magic then. That's strategy. That's calculated. That's intentional. That's, I'm doing X to equal Y. That's not magic money. There's no way to calculate magic money. There's no way to make it happen. Unrealistic money is received not based on evidence, but based on your decision and your capacity to hold the feelings of potentiality. That's where magic money comes from. And there is a point where you really can plan to have X number of dollars. Like, I believe there is a certain strategy that anyone can follow that they will allow them to hit 6-figure months. Like, anyone can follow. That's why I have the program for that, like 100K cash months, because I believe that this specific strategy can help anyone hit $100,000 in a month. But anything beyond $100,000, in my experience, is magic. It's magic. There's certain things you can be a little strategic with, but to get to like $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 cash months, you've got to believe in magic. You've got to believe magic, because this is where the majority of it comes from. Every single month, when I get to about $100,000 to $250,000, it's like I knew where that was coming from. I knew that was coming in, or I knew how it was going to come in. I planned for it to come in. And then the rest of it, the additional like $250,000 plus dollars, I have no clue that it's going to come in. Absolutely no clue at all where it's coming from. We've already had payments today, big payments today, where I'm like, where did this come from? I wasn't even promoting that. Like, where did this sale come from? Where did that come from? Even the offer that I put in the group today, I wasn't planning on launching that. It hit me this morning. It came to me this morning when I was thinking about the masterclass, but it wasn't something that I had really planned. So you don't know where big money can come from all the time. You can only plan for it to a certain extent. Is it a series of decisions you make over time to keep moving into potentiality? Yes. So it's for sure decision, but there's also some action to it. Because if you say, like, I choose to believe in potentiality, but then how you're actually showing up in your business says differently. It's like you're trying to force things to happen. You're trying to, convince someone to buy something from you or join something, and you're trying to like figure out a step-by-step plan to hit a certain number. Then those actions are basically going against that. Your actions are more focused on realistic and logical money. So you have to be careful with the kind of actions you're taking as well, and make sure that those actions are lined up with, I choose to believe in magic money, and I choose to do the work and receive money strategically as well. But I also am willing to trust that money can come in at any time, in any amount, from anyone, for anything, and just be open to that. So there is an action taking piece to it, but there's also quite a big lean back energy to it also. We can't force it. Like, we can force it to a certain point, but then after that, it's magic. And I remember one of my mentors told me this, I think it was last year, where it was like, after a certain point, it's like, after a certain point, you're like, where the hell did that come from? Like, where did this payment come from? Where did this person come from? The number of people who have come to me this year alone, who have commit to private mentorship and Velocity Mastermind, the inner circle, and it's just like, I just found you and I paid in full. I just found you. I want to do a year of coaching with you. I just found you, and this, like, is absolutely insane, and like something I have never in my life experienced before. And I know that it's because of my intention every single day to play with the energy of expansion through potentiality instead of forced expansion where it's like I have to push and push and push and I have to make this happen. I have to force this to happen in a certain way. Thank you. I totally feel that. I'm in velocity. Yeah. If I don't have a business, can this still happen for me? Yes. So, I mean, you can have money come in any way, whether you have a business or not. It's still about believing in magic. It's still about playing with potentiality, whether you have a business or not. Like I've had people in the 10K in 10 days program who have manifested money in the most incredible ways from sources they were not expecting, that were not even related to their business whatsoever, whether they manifested through their own partners, whether they, were gifted money, whether they received unexpected refunds and had money come in that way. Like it can happen for anyone, whether you have a business or not. Like the gap between logical money or realistic money, which is where we start, the gap between that and magic money is your energy. Your energy is key. It's how you feel about money that determines how you receive it. If you're constantly feeling stressed and anxious and in fear and in lack and in overwhelm and in doubt and in shame and in guilt, like if you're constantly in those kinds of energies around money, it's going to be very difficult for you to receive it. It's not that you can't receive it, but it's going to be very difficult for you to receive it. And it's not going to feel as easy for you or as magical for you. But if your energy around money is calm and trust and safe and excited and playful and fun, like that's going to feel way different. Money doesn't want to come and hang around when you're being a bummer. But when you're excited and you feel happy and you feel potential and you feel safe, like that's when money tends to come around. That said, this does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you have to be high vibe and happy and positive all the time to make money. This is bullshit. It's not true. I have made like really big money. I've had some of my biggest days ever on the days when I felt like shit. When the days when I was going through something really heavy. But the difference is that I still, even though I was having a crappy day, I still believed in the potential of money coming through. I still felt safe with money. I still felt playful with money, even though I may not have wanted to play in that moment when I was going through something. I still trusted in money, and I trusted in my ability to receive money through anything, through any kinds of emotions. You can receive money. So don't feel like you have to be constantly high vibe all the time, because number one, not possible. And number two, not true. You don't have to be high vibe all the time. However, it does help if you're in a good mood when you're thinking about money, but you obviously cannot force that. Do you remember what the switch was for you back then to move into consistent five-figure months? I was at five-figure months pretty early in my business, like from I think month 4 or something like that. I was 10K and up pretty fast. So there really wasn't, much of a switch for me, except for the fact that I had all these people doubting me, and it was like I felt like I had something to prove. I don't know. Like I'm sure that probably helped accelerate things for me a little bit. But for me, my biggest thing was shifting from the 30K to the 50K months, and the 50K to the 100K months, and the 100K months to the 200K months, and beyond, right? But going from those 30K months to the 50K months, for me, like the switch here was really allowing myself to feel safe with selling. I felt safe to an extent, like receiving, but I didn't feel safe selling, or at least selling all the time. So I would just sell a little bit here and there. And once I allowed myself to sell all the time and to have lots of different offers, that's when things really took off and I was able to hit the 50K months. Hello, Kendra. So the energetics were a really big piece for me to get to this point of now, the 600, 700, $800,000 month, a really big piece. But there were also some strategies, some practical strategies as well that I wanted to talk about. So the first one, and this is something that I talk about all the time, and it is the number one thing that has allowed me to get to these big cash months so quickly. And this is long-term, high-level mentorship. I will talk about this until I am blue in the freaking face. Long-term investments feel differently than short-term investments. Not that short-term investments are bad or wrong by any means, but there is a certain feeling of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you feel more grounded when you're in a longer term container. You feel like, I said something about this on my Instagram stories today. You feel like you have a home. You feel like you have a place to go, whether it's a mastermind or it's private mentorship or whatever it is. Like, you have this longer term investment that you've made for your own growth, for your own support. And when you have this, you don't have to worry about, hurrying up with your containers. Like, I had a client last year, and she had signed up for I had a 10-day one-on-one in Voxer. And she said to me on the second or the third day of that 10-day period, she said, I wrote down a list of questions last night. She said, I have 17 questions that I'm just going to run off to you here. She said, I want to make sure, I only have 10 days with you. I want to make sure I get the most out of this that I can. And she listed out all 17 questions. I refunded her immediately. And I said, no, that is not what mentorship is. But this can sometimes happen when somebody is in a short-term container. There's this feeling of like, I need to hurry up and get my money's worth because I only have this finite amount of time. Whereas when you have a long-term container that you're a part of, you don't have to hurry up. You don't have to rush. There's no scarcity. You have this person, or you have this space, this community, this, this sisterhood. You have this for a long freaking time, right? For a long time. Once I shifted into 1 year or longer of private mentorship or masterminds, my income went through the roof. Like, this was the catalyst to me hitting 200K months, 300K months, 500K months, 700 or 600, 700, $800,000 cash months consistently was shifting into this. There were other things I did too, yes, but this was the biggest piece because I had a home for at least a year. I signed up for mentorship for 2 years in advance, plus the mastermind for a year. Like, I have a ton of support. I don't need to hurry up. I don't need to rush. Like, I've got that support when I need it. And it's the knowing that you have that support, and you have that support for a long time, that there's no lack. And when you don't feel lack, you feel the opposite of lack, which is abundance and overflow. And when you feel abundance and overflow, that's what you tend to attract more of. And so me stepping into this longer term container allows me to have that feeling of overflow and abundance. And so what do I attract? More overflow and abundance. Like, it's absolutely critical to have long-term support. It is critical. If you want to continue to grow and scale and take things to bigger and bigger and bigger levels, you need to have long-term support. Find your person, or find your group of people. Like, find your home and plant your seeds there. Stay there, stay long-term, and just watch how big of a difference it makes. For me, it made a tremendous difference. Like, I am forever changed. And it made a difference almost instantly. Like, almost instantly, when I made that first investment in the year for the mastermind, it was almost instant that I stepped into the bigger and bigger and bigger cash months, the 200K cash months. And then it was like 5 seconds later, and we had a 300K cash month or a 400K cash month. Like, it was insane how quickly things moved. And I know it was mostly because of those big commitments that I had made for myself. Can't wait to start the, oh no, where did the question goes? There we go. How would you suggest to work on your money mindset when money is still short and you have to take care of your family? I know intellectually that it is important to work on this energy, but some days I don't know how to shift. Well, I mean, there's definitely a time when you need to be practical. It's like, I need to have at least X number of dollars coming in so that I can continue to feed and clothe and house my family. Like, there is a practicality piece to it, but it's everything above and beyond that. That's what we want to focus on creating. You still got to create the bare minimum, yes, but then but what if I can do more? Like, my bare minimum is $7,000 a month. Okay, I know I need to make at least $7,000 a month. So this is what I'm going to do. Like, how to sell, go sell your stuff. Like, that's the only way money's going to come in, is if you work for it. If you sell stuff, if you do work for it, like, the money comes in. And then it's above and beyond that. Like, maybe we only do 7K per month is normal. But what if this is a 14K month? What if this is a $21,000 month? What if this is a $30,000 month? And really just play with that kind of energy and feel into that and how good that feels for you, as you're also doing the practical work of making at least this $7,000 that you need. Can you say more about that? Receiving when you don't feel high vibe and aligned. I do understand that you can receive in any state, but on days I am feeling shitty, I would say I believe it can come in, but it never does. Perhaps it's not a deep belief, or what else does it take to receive? There's a practical piece to this too, where it's like, money can only come in if there's a way for money to come in. And so for me, I know if I'm having a crappy day or a crappy week, I'm still going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars come in. Not because I choose to believe that I can, although that's part of it, but also because I've laid the foundation for that to be a reality. I have so many different money pathways in my business, some of them where it requires me to actively post, actively sell, actively do things, and lots of money pathways where it doesn't require that at all, where there's automated things, where there's pre-recorded things, where there's stuff where people just kind of come out of nowhere and message you and want to do private coaching or want to jump into your mastermind, and you weren't even promoting it. Like, I know that that's also possible. So it's laying the foundation first, and then also continuing to choose to believe. And if you haven't had money come in on days that feel like crap, it's probably because, yes, deep down, you don't actually believe that you can. So on a day that you feel like crap, it's like, this is what I had to do. I had to basically brainwash myself and be like, just because I feel like crap doesn't mean I can't make money. Just because I feel like crap doesn't mean I can't make money. I can make money even if I feel like crap. Like, I just kept repeating it into my head over and over and over again. And then I would get a ding on my phone and be like, payment. Even if it was like I don't know, like a $10 payment or something, like, I would celebrate the crap out of that payment because it was evidence that I could receive money even if I felt like crap. Okay, I can't wait to start the masterminds included with the all-in pass. What are your thoughts on having multiple long-term mentors? I think as long as the mentors are different, then it can definitely work for sure. But if you have multiple mentors and they all have, like, they're all helping you with the same thing, where it's like you have a mentor who helps you with sales, and then you have another mentor who helps you with sales, and then you have another mentor who helps you with high ticket sales, it's like, that's probably going to be way too much, because at some point there's going to be conflicting advice, and it's going to be like, who do I listen to? So it's like having your person for whatever the subject is. So for me, like, I have obviously mentorship for business and mindset. I have mentorship for my health. I have mentorship for my relationship. So I have mentorship in different areas of my life. So then it makes sense. It's when we have the same, or we have multiple mentors that help us with the same exact thing, that can kind of create some issues. I've been thinking this has been the missing piece for me, long-term support. It is for most people, I've noticed. Would you say it was private mentorship or the mastermind that expanded you first? Well, it was definitely the mastermind, but that was only because that was the first thing I signed up for. Like, I had signed up for private coaching a few months into the mastermind, but I didn't actually get to experience it until like many, many, many months later, like almost a full year later, because there was a wait list. So I had to pay to be on the wait list, essentially. And then once the private coaching started, I knew right away, like, I don't want this to end after a year. Like, this is my person. So I paid again for another year to make sure I could lock in 2 years. And then that alone, like making that second year commitment just a few months into my first year commitment, like completely changed the freaking game for me. I'd love to know, there we go. I'd love to know how you get into the energy of it. I think the biggest thing for me is what if. And I know that sounds so basic, and I guess because it is so basic, but it has had the most profound effect on me is just playing with what if and why not. Like, what if today was $100,000 day? And why not? Why not just go have $100,000 day today? You know what? Why not just have $100,000 day today? I think I'm just gonna go have $100,000 day today. Yeah, that sounds fun. I think I'll do that. Like that's kind of the energy for me. And it's making it like not a big deal. It's when we make things a really big deal where we fuck it up. If it's a really big deal, it's just like it creates resistance. So make it not a big deal. Make it a fun little game of why the heck not? I'm gonna go have a 6-figure day. Why the heck not? Why did you have a 6-figure day? Why not? Felt like it. That's it. What about high days and low days? How can there be sustainability and high daily cash flow? So sustainability and high daily cash flow is a solid foundation for sales and an incredible money, what's the word I'm looking for? An incredible system. I'm thinking of like the wiring of a computer, but I can't think of the word. Like wiring for your money pathways. So when I think of my money pathways, like I don't have this path and this path and this path and this path. I have this path that goes into this path, that goes into this path, that goes above that path, that goes under this path, that goes around this path, that does this loop-de-loop over here and this up here. Like it looks like a tangled freaking mess. But behind the scenes, it's very organized. But on the surface, it looks very tangled. There are so many pathways going into so many different things that there is absolutely no way we could have a really low cash day. It's impossible. There's so many pathways. And it's the consistency as well, right? Like the consistency of really going and telling people about these pathways. It's selling, it's launching, it's promoting, it's creating content, it's being seen, being heard, your visibility, your social media. Like, doesn't mean you have to be on 24/7, of course. Like I'm only doing this 2 to 4 hours a day, so I'm clearly not on all the time, yet I'm able to make incredible money because the systems that I use for myself are so simple. The strategies that I use for myself are so simple, and I'm so consistent with them. Like that consistency is key. And this is where most people actually lack more than anything else is consistency, because they're not seeing the results that they want to be seeing as fast as they want to see them. So they give up. I posted every single day for the past 3 months. I still keep attracting the same people. I don't think I'm attracting new people yet. Nobody seems to want to buy. Nobody's buying my stuff. It's not working. And they give up. Although most people don't even last 3 months. I hear people who are like, I did this, I followed your strategy this whole week and nothing changed. It's a freaking week. It's going to go a lot longer than a week. Did not work for me the first time I did it in a week. Like it took some time. Like you've got to be committed. This is why I say like long-term mentorship, long-term support, long-term commitments, long-term content strategy, long-term sales strategy, long-term wealth strategy, like long freaking term. So many of you are doing this in the short term. You're like, I need to make money fast. I need to pay my bills. I need to hit this number because then it'll look good and then I can promote that and then people will hire me and then I'll hit bigger numbers and I need to do this. It's going to drive you mad, and it's not going to actually create sustainable results. And that's what we want. We don't just want results. We don't just want money. We want sustainability. Like I didn't have a 6-figure month and then drop back down to 50K months. Like I hit 6 figures in October of 2020, and I have never since dropped below 100K ever again. Like I have sustained 100Ks and 100K months and beyond at this point because the foundation is there. And I focused on that. I didn't try to have a 6-figure month just for the sake of having a 6-figure month. I knew that I wanted sustainability within my business. And that's why Soon after, in February, I decided to commit to that mastermind for a year. I wanted that long-term support because long-term equals sustainability. When we focus on things for the long term, it creates sustainability. It's like trying to, like, yeah, I want to lose 30 pounds. So I'm going to go exercise every day this month and I'm going to eat really well every day this month. And then after the month, you're just like, I didn't even really lose that much weight yet. Like, this is not working. It's not worth it. I'm just going to go eat the things I want to eat. And I'm just going to not work out the way I've been working out. I quit. I give up. But if you want to lose weight and be healthy for the rest of your life, you don't just exercise and eat well for a month. Like, it is a lifestyle. It is a long-term plan that you have for yourself, a long-term investment of time, energy, money, blood, sweat, tears. Like, it is long-term. Like, I cannot stress anymore just how important these long-term commitments are that we make for ourselves, whether that's in mentorship or whether that's in, the actions that you take every day in your business or your other areas of your life. Like, it is so important. And without it, we may get a quick little hit on, what it is that we want, but we will never be able to sustain it. So if you want to have sustainability, you've got to look at the long term. Okay, I feel like I can sell quick and fast, but one of the mentors is encouraging me to take more time to build out a new aspect of my brand and launch it slower. I feel torn between doing what I'm inspired to do in the moment and building out a sustainable system. I think you can do both at the same time. I don't, careful what you say. I think mentors that try to tell you what to do, just be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I have had so many experiences where mentors have told me, "Oh, don't do that. It won't work. Oh, don't do that. You should do this first because then this great thing will happen." Even though in my gut, like, that's not what I want to do, or at least not what I want to do in that moment. Like, I want to do this instead. And I know it seems crazy and I know it seems unrealistic and it doesn't seem logical, but this comes back to what we were just talking about. Do you want logic? Do you want logical results? Do you want realistic results? Or do you want crazy? Do you want wild and crazy and out of this world and blow your mind, where your mentors are just like, damn, I'm glad you didn't listen to me? Because that's what I want. That's what I want. Like, find mentors who are going to encourage you to trust your gut. And if they have input, they can share the input, but the input should never be, you have to do it like this. This is the only thing that'll work. That's something to be very careful of. All right. Yes, exactly. Okay. So long-term investments was the big one there. Then it's scalability. So having the ability to really scale when it comes to money. So I looked at, and I did this a couple years ago, where I said, how can I take this one offer, whatever the offer was, didn't matter, but how can I take this one offer and turn it into another offer? So then I have two offers. And then how can I take that offer and turn it into another offer? Three offers. Can I take this one offer and turn it into three additional offers? So four total. Can I take this one offer and turn it into 10, which is now my goal that I like to play with, is how can I take this one offer and turn it into 10 different offers? And this has allowed me to create these little, well, not always little, but like, I have some mini offers, but then I have some bigger offers that come from this one offer idea. This one offer idea, they can come in. And so I look at things like offer stacking and bundling and upgrading and continuations, extensions, like all of these types of things with my offers, so that I don't just stop at that one sale, where somebody buys one program, or they buy one masterclass, or they sign up for 10 days of one-on-one coaching. It's like, you can do 10 days of one-on-one coaching. That's cool if that's all you want to do. But if you want to continue, let me know, because there's other options available. And I have the longer term packages for those who do want to step into the next level. They do want to have that long-term support, So offer stacking is going to be where you take one offer and you add another offer on top of it, and you take another offer on top of it, and you take another offer on top of that, and it's like the continuation of sales. Where most people go wrong with sales is they sell one thing and then they're done. And then they might launch something again later and they'll sell that thing and then they're done. And so somebody buys from them, they buy the one thing and then they're done. They don't buy again because there's nothing else to buy. And so for me, my thing is there is never not an option to buy something else. There is never not an option to buy something else. No matter what you purchase, I can promise you that there will be at least one other offer that you'll receive. At least one other offer. You will not ever just receive one thing from me where I'm like, here's the thing you can buy. And then you buy the thing and I'm like, cool, thanks, enjoy. There will be another thing because it's the constant, one step to the next step to the next step. Like what else can support them? They buy that program, great. At the end of that program, what are they going to be wondering? What are they still going to need support with? Offer them that. Right? When you have the private coaching and they've done 3 months of private coaching with you, what's the next thing that's going to support them? What are they going to want after that 3 months? Offer them that. It's continuing to offer them the next thing and the next thing, the next thing. And of course, there's going to be people who stop. They'll buy one thing and they won't buy anything else from you ever again. There'll be some people who will buy something from you and then buy the next thing and then stop. They won't buy the thing after that. Right? Like there's always another layer, there's always another level, there's always another piece that they can step into. And the biggest thing for this is really just breaking it down for yourself so that it's like you take one big topic and you have different subtopics for that. So if I was to take the topic of sales, for example, which is super broad, I could break that down into probably 30 different programs if I wanted to. Programs, masterclasses, and that's the other thing is you can take a program, turn it into a mini program, turn that mini program into a masterclass, turn that masterclass into a 10-minute audio, and now you have all of these different levels. Obviously, the type of content, the things that you're sharing are going to be different from like a 10-minute audio compared to like a 2-week program, of course. But it's like you're giving people little snippets, little pieces of like, here's one area. I can do a 10-minute audio today on how to price your offers. This is a question I get all the time. What should I price this coaching thing at? What should I price this program at? I could do a 10-minute audio today and I could sell it for 111, 222, 333. I could sell that and people would buy it to find out how to price their offers. And then off the back end of that, I can have another audio on, how to sell into your next offer, how to sell 10 spots in your next offer or whatever it is, some other kind of sales piece, and people would buy that. And then I could have a 5-day little mini program. And there's going to be some things that you are creating, and then there's things that you don't have to create, or you don't have to create anymore because they're already created. So how I really like to do it, this is where like the simplification of my business comes in. The way that I deliver my offers is very simple. I have a masterclass. I go live for an hour, hour and a half. That's it. Masterclass is done. Now I can sell the recording of this masterclass forever. I just sell the recording. I don't have to do anything else. My team could take this masterclass, they could break it down into smaller little bite-sized pieces, and we could sell, audio snippets or something like that on certain areas, right? We have the one topic of like magic money versus logic money. That could be a quick little audio. Again, I don't have to do anything for that. I've already done it. And we just kind of break it down into little pieces. And so if you have different types of content, it's going to be easier for you to have lots of different things to sell. But if you're delivering all of your content the same exact way, and the way that you're selling it and delivering it is time intensive, it's going to be very difficult for you to have, obviously, lots of different things to sell because you will not have enough hours in the day to actually do all of those things. So think about, programs. Do your programs have to be live? Can you just have pre-recorded programs from content you've already created? Or maybe you want to mix pre-recorded content with live content. Maybe you want to take audio snippets from your videos and put those into additional trainings for people where you break things down a little bit. Like it's taking things and making them more simple for you to deliver so they don't take as much time. Then you're able to deliver and offer more of them. There was another question here I wanted to answer about team. Can one build these high level intricate systems without hiring, without hiring a back end team? Yes, I think it's easier with a team, of course, but do you have to have a team? No. Like when I first started doing this, I only had one person on my team. And honestly, I did most of this myself because I was a little OCD and I didn't trust anyone to do it anyway. So you could do it yourself. Don't feel like you need to have a team, and especially not a big team, to do this for you. You could definitely do it yourself. This is, again, where simplification comes in, where the easier it is for you to sell and the easier it is for you to deliver, then the more likely that you are to actually sell it, people to buy it, and you deliver it, and have this again and again for all sorts of different offers that you put out there. And speaking of which, this is where when you have variety in what you're selling, variety in topics and variety in like offer types, so audio only, Voxer only, video and audio, video and Voxer, text only, PDF only, like a variety, right? It keeps things fresh and interesting for you and for your audience, which makes it more fun to stay on top of. But it also creates different opportunities for people to buy, because there's some people who, don't really care for live trainings. Like I know for me, if I sign up for a program or if I'm in something where there's live trainings, I do not go there live. I just don't. I will buy it and then I'll go back and I'll watch the replay on like 2 or 3x speed. That's how I like to do it. And then there's other people who really like to be in the live energy. And so they're more likely to sign up for the live stuff, right? And so then you have pre-recorded offers that some people are going to buy, the ones who don't care about being there live. And you're going to have your live offers that people are going to buy because they want to be there in the live energy. And then there's some people who are like, I don't want to listen to audios, but I like written content. Like I want to learn from written text, which is my preferred way of learning, is I want to just read it. I don't really want to listen to it. This is why I'm not a big fan of podcasts. I don't want to listen, just write it out so I can scan and I can pick out the pieces that kind of jump out to me. Like there's people like that, right? They don't need you to create a whole bunch of videos, create a whole bunch of audios. Like just put a whole bunch of information on a website, write it all down, make a PDF, sell that to me. I'll buy that. In a heartbeat, I will buy that. So we have the variety there and it makes it a little bit easier. Can you share your creative process, how you get into creator mode and high vibe feeling? So I don't try to, first of all, but the biggest thing that I like to intentionally do each day is follow the feel good feelings. So what I'll typically ask myself, if it doesn't just come to me intuitively, is what would feel good to do now? So if I'm like, let's say I wrap up this, call today, and then I could say to myself, what do I feel, like what would feel good for me to do now? What do I feel called to do now? And whatever it is that speaks to me, whether it's related to business or not, I'll go do that. So maybe it's, I'm going to go have a snack. That feels good to me. Okay, I'll go have a snack. After I have the snack, what would feel really good for me to do now? Okay, I'll go do that. To be inspired, if I want to intentionally try to feel inspired in some way, I'll typically go into my Voxer with my mentor and I'll ask a question or I'll share something. And, typically if I go in and I just share something else will come through. Or I'll go read a book on a topic that I'm interested in. I will go and watch, a live training on something, but like the recording of the live training. I'll go watch that, and listen to that. Like there's a lot of different things that I would do for me, but it's different every day. It just depends on what would feel exciting for me in that moment. Is there a website you recommend for building your programs? Well, I do all my programs just in Facebook groups. So, I can't really recommend. I would recommend Kajabi because I used Kajabi years ago when I had a different membership site. So I did like it then. This, again, was years ago. So I don't know if things have changed much, but I did like it then. I found it easy to use. I would definitely recommend it if it's still the same as the way it was back then. So if that's what you're leaning towards, I would trust your gut on that one because Kajabi has a pretty good reputation. But also you don't have to use something like that is the other thing that I'll say. So to kind of wrap this up, I think the biggest thing is yes, we have the strategies for money. Yes, we do the things. Like, yes, we show up, we sell, we have the money pathways, like we make the long-term investments, we commit, we go all in, we do the things. But then there's also this piece with money that's really important that really changed everything for me. And this is one of the main things that allowed me to step into six-figure months for the first time. And it was removing money from the pedestal. So I kind of mentioned this before around, if you make money a big deal, we tend to overthink. And this is not what we want. So I had to remove money, or in particular, the $100,000 months. I had to remove these six-figure months, this money in general, from the pedestal. I had to stop making it a big deal while still desiring it at the same time. So it was switching from, need, or at least what I was telling myself I needed. It was switching from this feeling of need into a feeling of desire. I didn't need any more money. Like, I was making 50K a month. Like, that is an incredible amount of money. $500,000 a year, over 500,000. Like, that is an incredible amount of money. I am not mad at $500,000 a year, right? But I also desire more. So it's the fact that I don't need it that allows me to kind of step back a little bit and be like, well, I don't need it, but I desire it, and I'm allowed to desire it. So I'm going to walk with the desire. I'm going to walk with the feeling of desire instead of the feeling of need. Like, that feels so much better. If we make money a big deal in the sense where it's like, I need money to equal this, like, I need to make X number of dollars to feel good about myself. I need to make X number of dollars so that I look good to everyone else. I need to make X number of dollars because then it means I finally made it. Like, if we need to make money for reasons like that, it's very unlikely that the money is going to come, because it's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of need, and it's not coming from a place of true desire. So you have to tap into, this feeling of true desire that you have for money and for more money. If you're already making great money and you just want to receive more, it's really tapping into why you desire to have more. And it's playing with that feeling of actually having it. And then, of course, it's also playing with the feeling of potentiality. And what if, why not? What if this is a $500,000 month for you? That's okay that you've never even had a 50K month. You could have a $500,000 month. Where it's going to come from, no one knows. And that's the point. Because money can be magic if you choose to believe in magic. And I don't know about you, but I choose to believe in magic every single freaking day, no matter what. How do you practically shift to desire versus need? It's not really a practical thing. It's more an energetic thing. So you just decide that the feeling of need doesn't feel as good as the feeling of desire. So do you want to feel good, or do you want to feel great? And I want to feel great. And so I choose to focus on the desire. How do you do that when you have 100K months and then it drops? Usually if there's a dip in income, it's either that you can't energetically hold that amount of money for that long, like the sustainability in the feeling of holding that amount of money, that's what drops. So it's practicing, feeling safe, receiving that amount of money again and again and again and again. But it's oftentimes what I've noticed with clients is it's also like a strategy piece as well. So it's like you have your first six-figure month, but you had it because you had these, big gigantic pay in fulls that you weren't expecting. And so now it's like, well, now I have to have big gigantic pay in fulls again to have $100,000 a month again. So this is where we come back to like that foundational piece of consistently growing your income, consistently growing your new sales every month, your recurring sales every month, that consistency that's there in the growth for your sales. And it's the safety of receiving more and more and more and more over time. Okay, my face is glitching. Okay, so the last time I did this, I just had to cover up the filter and then my face went back to normal. So hang on, let's stop this. Stop this. Yay, see how much better I look? Thank you, Facebook, for the filter. Okay, so perfect. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having this conversation with me. I feel like this is a conversation that really needed to be had. So thank you for being here with me. And I'm going to share later today in the group about the offer that I put in there that has no details. We just called it Boom. I will put the details in the group later tonight, but again, the price will be higher when I do put the details. So if you're feeling the nudge, I suggest jumping in. I think you'll be very happy when you do. And then the other things I wanted to mention that are coming up if you're interested in continuing the ride with me. So we have the Limitless Coach that starts on Monday, as well as Raise the Bar. So Limitless Coach is my biggest program that I offer. It is all about how to build and scale a coaching business that thrives. It's all about like the things we talked about today, going deeper into the foundation of your business. It's all about how to sell high ticket coaching, how to sell masterminds, how to sell private coaching, how to sell every single day, how to build your authority, how to attract a bigger audience of people who love to buy from you, how to lead your coaching containers, how to use mentorship. Like there's everything you could ever possibly want to know around how to become a coach or how to take your coaching business to the next level. So I'm very excited. This is, like I said, one of my biggest programs. It's 4 weeks that we're going to be doing this starting on September the 5th. So if you want to sign up for that, we'll drop the link for that in the group for you later as well. And then Raise the Bar is actually a brand new membership that has been created that's all around content and how to raise the bar on your content so that you can start attracting more ready to buy clients into your field. So Raise the Bar, like I said, is 12 months. It's a full year. We start on the 5th of September, and it is content prompts that are going to help you to create this audience, this magnetic frequency that you're going to put out that's going to attract an audience of people who are ready and able to buy from you. So every single week, there's going to be a content prompt that you'll receive via email. And with the content prompt will also be examples and the actual strategy behind that content prompt. So this will be every single week for an entire freaking year. So 52 content prompts to attract these ideal clients that are ready to buy from you. And then there's the VIP version as well. And the VIP version also includes a quarterly coaching call, like group coaching call for Q&A. And there will be twice monthly content drops in a private Facebook group where you'll be able to go even deeper into all of my different content and sales strategies. So I am very excited for that one also. So these are both starting on September the 5th, and I will have my team put the links in the group for you a little bit later today. All right. What are your one-on-one options currently? So right now, the best option right now, actually, I mean, unless you want long-term, of course, but if you are interested in short-term, so there's two things I would say. So one is I have my 100K month method, and the 100K month method is a 10-day one-on-one experience in Voxer where you'll have one-on-one coaching, of course, for 10 days, but you also get access to the 100K cash months program and all of the trainings that are in that, recorded trainings, which is exactly how to have consistent six-figure months in your business. So you'll get that program, and then you'll have 10 days one-on-one consecutive with me to kind of implement the things that you're learning, and then any questions and support and stuff that you need over the 10 days. So there's that, but that one, there's a wait list currently, I think, till end of October for that one. And that one is 5,555. But the thing that I have right now that is incredible is Big Bold Moves. So if you've heard about Big Bold Moves, it's all about the behind the scenes of my company, all the things that we do. You get to see things from my team, like you get to see our chats, like screenshots of our chats in Boxer and all kinds of stuff around how we plan offers, how we strategize for launches, how we increase sales. Like it's incredible. It's one of the best things I've ever done. And we have a 2023 round that we decided to do. It is the full year the full year of access to this starting in January, and it is going to be $30,000. But right now, today, it's 10K. There's also a 6-month payment plan for it as well. And if you come into it and you're one of the first 20 people to sign up, and I think there's only a handful of spots left for that, then you'll get a full month of one-on-one private coaching. So that is probably the best deal for one-on-one that I have currently. So that Big Bold Moves is 10K, or like pay in full, or you can do 6 monthly payments of 1,888 for that. And then there's 3 months one-on-one, which is 50K. And if you want to come into longer term, you can message me for that. So that's the one-on-one currently. Okay, could those prompts work for a wellness or nutrition coach? Yes, it's for all coaches. I should have said that. So it's for all coaches. It's content prompts for coaches of all kinds: business coaches, health coaches, sex coaches, parenting coaches, wellness coaches, health coaches, like any kind of coach it will work for. Do you have any programs or long-term containers for newbie coaches who still don't know what the general topic of their coaching will be yet? I would recommend, it's not long-term, but I would recommend doing the Limitless Coach program 100%. And there may be something at the end of that program as well that could go into long-term. But that's what I would recommend 100% for any new coaches. All right. Thank you, Chrissy. Amazing. Thank you again, ladies, for being here. This was fabulous. You are fabulous. And I'm going to put all the links in the group for you. If you have any questions at all, you can message Team Cassie in the group, or you can message me on here on Facebook as well. And I will, be really excited to see whatever container you want to come into next if you feel the pull to do so. Okay. Is there a payment plan for the 3 months at 50K? Yes. So that with private coaching, it's pay in full for private coaching, but I have many clients who make installments. And then once the installments are all paid, then we would begin our one-on-one together. So if you decided to do the 3 months, then you would just make payments. And once the 50K is paid in full, then we would be able to begin together. I'm looking for guidance on what I'd be good at coaching at. Is there a specific program for that? I don't have a program for that, no. Limitless Coach, we don't really talk about like what you should be a coach at, but there's definitely in the beginning, we do go into like strengthening the kind of coach you decide to be, or the kind of coach that you already are. And really finding clarity in that. But I wouldn't say that I have anything specifically around how to figure out what kind of coach you want to be. Amazing. Yes. So you can just message my team. So any links that you need that you don't see in the group, anything private coaching related that you want to make installments on, you want to pay in full, Big Bold Moves, I'll drop that in here too for those of you who are interested, so that you can get that that fun bonus as well. And I am excited to see you wherever I see you next. So thank you for spending time with me today. I love you so freaking much, and have the most incredible rest of your day, your week, your month, and your year.